Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yasha Allah. This your boy, Brother Shema Allah. Back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Soon It Shall Not Be Remembered. All right? Soon it shall not be remembered. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. Right? And the Holy Spirit, which is the Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. And I came across this article just like a day ago, and it's from earth.com, and it says 20 years later, remembering the world's deadliest tsunami. Right? It says, for many, the recent anniversary of the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami was a time for reflection and remembrance. It says the disaster took the lives of more than 220,000 people from different countries and is ranked as the deadliest tsunami in recorded history. Understanding the Indian Ocean tsunami, it was 20 years ago on a seemingly ordinary day that an earthquake of an unprecedented magnitude occurred off the western coastline of Indonesia, Sumatra Island. It says standing as the longest fault line ruptured from a quake, standing as the longest fault line rupture from a quake ever recorded, the seismic event sent huge waves, some reaching heights of over 30 meters, sweeping across coastal regions in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, Thailand, and 9 other nations within the ocean basin. Its energy release was enormous, the equivalent of 23,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs. It says the earthquake was first recorded as having a magnitude of an 8.8. The United States Geological Survey later revised the official magnitude of the earthquake to a 9.1 with a depth of 30 kilometers. It says the epicenter was located 150 miles from the Sumatran coast. It says the unforeseen tsunami tragedy, Indonesia, it says the world's largest archipelago, it says, which is located in the Pacific seismic activity hotbed known as Ring of Fire, suffered immensely from the tsunami. It says the disaster database from EMDAT reports that 226,408 people lost their lives due to the tsunami. Southern Sumatra was the most affected region in Indonesia, where more than 120,000 people perished. The tsunami's massive waves didn't stay contained within Indonesia. They spread across the Indian Ocean at incredible speeds over 800 kilometers per hour, reaching countries like Sri Lanka, India, Thailand hours later. The death toll of these countries were also staggering: over 35,000 in Sri Lanka, 16,000 in India, and 8,300 in Thailand. It says other countries like Somalia and the Maldives, Malaysia, Mariner also reported fatalities. It says tsunami aftermath and recovery, more than 1.2 million were left displaced in the wake of the disaster. According to the United Nations, the international community promised to commit around 14 billion in disaster relief. The scale of destruction was enormous, with hundreds of thousands of buildings reduced to rubble and entire communities left homeless. All right. So, with that, which was a great event, but guess what? it's soon to not even be talked about. All right. And why do I mention that? Right. It's soon to not be talked about. Right. That was 220,000, people. But, there's coming a day which is going to be much greater than that. All right. Where it's going to be a whole mass of destruction. All right. A large mass of destruction, as you would say. Right. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Right. 66 and verse number 15. Right. The day of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Right. That's what's going to be talked about. It's not going to be talked about, 220,000 people in a tsunami. It's not going to be talked about, mass shooting this, mass shooting that. That's none of that, right? The day of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is what's going to be talked about, all right? This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. It says, "For behold, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall be many." All right? When the Lord arrives, when he comes, he's coming to bring judgment, and he's coming to bring mass death upon this place, right? Let's get this, right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 5, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1, it says, "Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith." All right? There's coming a time where there's going to be large amounts, right? These things are nothing right now, right? These things are going to be nothing compared to the day of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all right? And it's going to be like a progression, like a woman giving birth, okay? With the destruction that's coming upon this earth. The Lord, what does it say? 2nd Ezra 8. God. 2nd Ezra 8, chapter 1, 2nd Ezra 8 and verse number 1, it says, "And he answered me, saying, The Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few." All right? Because there's going to be few people, right? Because the Lord, right, when the Lord comes here to Babylon, he's going to destroy everything here in Babylon, right? That is not, beamed up in those chariots, anything here left, right? Because the Lord is coming to gather his elect, all right, from the four winds, right? From here in Babylon, anything left here is going to be utterly destroyed. It's going to be mass death, right? And if you've seen, like on YouTube, they have the different scenarios of, with these ICBM missiles hitting, right? And, you're talking about millions of people, millions of people at a time. All right. Right. So let's go back to that. Isaiah 66 and verse 15 or 16. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall be many." Okay. Many. All right. I'm talking about millions of people, right? Wiped off, deleted, back to the spirit world, right? When the Lord comes to bring his vengeance, right? It's not going to be, none of this other stuff is going to be talked about, about whatever, like the tsunami, all this different stuff. That's not going to be talked. It's going to be talking about the day that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi comes and brings judgment upon this place and his delivery of the children of Israel, right? Let's get that. Jeremiah 16 and verse number 15. I'll start at verse 14, right? Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that it shall no more be said, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land, and I will give that I gave unto their fathers. Right? That's what it's going to be talked about. All right. And we still talk about, in Egypt. All right. We still talk about it. People still talk about, in Egypt, how the Lord brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. What more, the land of the north, right? Here in North America and throughout the four corners, right? Let's get that. Matthew, right? So when the Lord comes, right, all that stuff is going to be forgotten. This is Matthew chapter 24. And start at verse 30. It says, then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Right? People are going to be what? Because they know, right? Time is up, right? Destruction and death is coming to this place, right? And salvation for those of the elect, all right, of the nation of Israel, of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you of the diaspora, right, who are scattered abroad, who look like these other nations, but your lineage goes back to Jacob, right? It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, right? And he shall send his angels with the great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of earth even unto the other. All right? Because we remember that at this time, those missiles are going to be hidden, right? The same time that Yahawashi is delivering his elect, right? They're getting beamed up into those clouds, which are chariots, which you call so-called UFOs or spacecraft. All right? The Lord is coming, to bring salvation and yet judgment, right? And mass judgment. Just lost my train of thought. Let's go to 2 Peter, and hopefully it'll come back to me. Right? 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse number 10. Right? It says, but the day of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right? Let me see. Salakia came to my mind again. Let me just kind of hold it. Okay, there we go. Right? So the day of the Lord is coming, right, with that great noise. Okay? Now they talk about, how that magnitude of earthquake was a 9.1, right? And how much devastation it did. What more, right? When Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi sends these arrows, which are these ICBM missiles, upon this place, Babylon, right? But it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up, right? This place is going to be burnt up. Everything you see here in Babylon is from one coast to the other coast is going to be completely and utterly destroyed and wasted, all right? With a fervent heat, with a high heat, all right? With the high heat, all right? People are going to be talking about, the day that burned like an oven. All right, like the book of Malachi says, Malachi chapter 4 and verse number 1, it says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. All right. So people are going to be talking about, they're not going to be talking about a tsunami. They're going to be talking about none of this stuff. They're going to be talking about that day that the Lord burned this place up like an oven. All right. With a high heat. All right. And what did it do? It rocked the earth to and fro. Right. You had that 9.0 earthquake. What more when Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, brings destruction upon this place and rocks this place, the earth like a drunkard. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 20. It says, the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise up, and not rise again. All right, because the Lord is bringing his full judgment and his full wrath upon this place, and this place is the earth is gonna rock, right, to and fro, because of those ICBM missiles and the destruction that's hitting, right? When you're talking about like huge the earth quaking and shaking, if you can understand. All right. So you talking about that, what more type of tsunamis will be coming and wiping over and washing over people, at that point. So, just reading that, and I've talked about this, several times, about, that tsunami, but the day of the Lord is going to come, and it's going to be even much greater, where none of this stuff is going to be talked about. It's going to only be talked about the day of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and the day of his vengeance, right? The good news that the gospel speaks about, all right? Where the Lord comes and to bring recompense, right? To bring judgment to all the nations, that have fought against us, and especially this place, Babylon, right? Got a special judgment, right? And of course, the deliverance of the elect of Israel, out of this place and out of the four corners of the earth. All right. That's what it's going to be talked about. All right. So I just want to do that quick lesson. Lord's will, this was edifying. Right. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep watching, keep praying, and keep praying for the downfall, of this evil, wicked place and our enemies, man. All right. And that the Lord will make speedy riddance of this place. All right. And with that, I want to say shalom.